What's going on, everybody? What's up, my Broodwar brothers? Welcome back to another replay cast. We got JaeDong here versus a ladder Terran. Let's call him MN. So it looks like some sort of barcode here. Very high-ranking Terran player, but just a ladder Terran. We haven't had too many ladder games with JaeDong versus some really serious competition. Any pro gamers matching up with him on the ladder recently. This was played in March of 2023, so a very recent game. JaeDong is playing in the ASL right now, so he probably doesn't have too much time to just mess around on the ladder. Most of the time spending it wisely, trying to... Oh, what the heck? 11 hatch. Okay, interesting. 11 hatch. Trying to say, trying to work out on his strategies, trying to hide what he's planning, make sure that he's got some good builds prepared for his ASL opponents. There's the spawning pool and the gas going down all the way to 8 drones here. So a pretty tight build from JaeDong. This is not a lot of drones. Really holding back on that production. And he's probably going to hit a very, very quick layer timing here with a lot of mutas. Not going to have too many drones here in the main, though, when that timing does indeed hit. How many do we have right now? 8. And there's the 9th. Number 10 is going to pop as well. It'll probably be sent to the natural here, or used for a scout. We'll see. Back on the other side of the map, we've got a wall in here followed by a factory. So this is a little bit sneaky because you're not really going to get by this wall as JaeDong. He's sending his overlord in this direction, but it's going to be a while until you get over here. And I think that barcode MN, he's going to get away with popping out a vulture here without JaeDong actually being aware that that tech is coming. A little bit scary. Not producing any Marines, though, so okay. Now Marine in production, but he hasn't been producing them non-stop. So if JaeDong gets over here, he will get that knowledge at least. He will know that something is up, and he should prepare for a vulture coming across the map. 2 Marines out here in the front. First link coming. He's going to see the barracks. The moment he sees that barracks not mining, he should be throwing down a sunken, or not mining, excuse me, not producing. Should have a sunken being thrown down here. Around 4 minutes is kind of the last possible moment to throw down that the sunken without, you know, being in desperate trouble. Now he's got quite a few lings out, and ling speed is about to finish, so maybe he can fight with this vulture a little bit in the middle of the map and try to slow it down. Oh my god. Oh, that's not good. Barcode MN just messing up this micro a little bit. Now he's got it going, but he already took too much damage on the vulture. The first vulture gets taken down with very little trouble. That's not a good look. MN definitely wanted to get more out of that vulture, and he could have gotten more. He could have maneuvered around, killed all those lings, and then possibly tried to run by here. That sunken colony was very late. Now, as it stands, JaeDong going to grab a 3rd base with full confidence here. Only has a single ling out on the map, I think. No, 2 lings on the map. Comes that 2nd vulture. We'll clear those out. But we've already got the Spire on the way back at home, going straight up into science facility. So this is a pretty standard old school 1-1-1 here. The Wraith is out on the map. It's going to go ahead and look for some Overlord kills, but actually feels pretty late, this Wraith. I guess it's because he went for the expansion. Kind of a strange middle-of-the-road build here for MN. Trying to do everything at once. He is going to get his engineering bay up in time because mutas are on the way here. He needs to defend. The first science vessel on the way. Of course, Irradiate will be soon to follow. There we go. Gets one Overlord at least. Will retreat here with that Wraith. Here's another Overlord down here to the south. If he picks off a second Overlord, that could be big. And it looks like he will find it as well. So finding this Overlord pretty huge. Oh my god, he didn't see it. Well, that's just sad. Now, I guess the Mutalist would have been in time to save it, but still... Not paying attention there. He will lose his Wraith now as well. Really good pickoffs by JaeDong, who's going to start this harassment at the natural as the turrets are not quite finished. Okay, there we go. The timing's just not perfectly there. And you can really see the difference between a pro gamer like JaeDong, who's been around the block, who's played in all of these offline tournaments, who's won multiple massive prizes and tournaments here, and someone who's just really good on the ladder. There is a serious difference between the two, and JaeDong kind of displaying that right now. He didn't have the best start, but not a bad situation for him at all now. Lowering his opponent's SCV count to below his own drone count at this point. Not too many Marines on the field here. Starting a machine shop. And what's this? Another barracks? Looks like we're going to have another barracks under construction. So finally going to start popping out some Marines. He does have the science vessels now. So if JaeDong were to continue with this Mutalist harass, he will be getting irradiated and driven away. So he is going to be transitioning here. A lurker aspect is on the way. Armor on the way as well. And this third base, this is an interesting third base to take here. JaeDong choosing not to grab one of these other mains. Instead, just grabbing this one. I feel like a Hydralist game is on the way here. We do have the Hydralist with the lurker, of course, and armor. That's all pretty normal, but another hatchery goes down the main. If he throws down another hatch here, we're going to be seeing Hydralist Defiler 100%. That's just so typical of this style. And we're not seeing it just yet so far. JaeDong just kind of hanging out. Looks like we had an Irradiate as well. Everything driven away here. No damage really dealt to the main or any of the Terran's units right now. So I guess he just flew in, ate an Irradiate, and flew right back out again. Looks like catching an SCV. Just good due diligence here from JaeDong, making sure he keeps his opponent's presence on the map to an absolute minimum. Hydras are now being produced. We've got Adrenal on the way now and Defiler Mound. So I think this is indeed going to be that Hydralist style. We don't see the addition of another hatch here, at least not yet, but drone counts are looking very nice and healthy. 40 drones here for JaeDong. He's going to be able to produce a heck of a lot of Hydras. I think going to 6 hatch, definitely the play at this point. So far, only 4 though. Hasn't had to contend with any sort of move out from MN just yet, but that's the time is coming here very shortly. We've got 4 vessels. We've got a ton of Marines and 2 tanks as well. So this push is going to be a bit scary. Only a few lurkers here, and you know, lurkers not the best against vessel and tank. As long as they don't get really good hits on these Marines, he should be fine. Diving on top of these. Oh, he gets one. One science vessel does go down. A nice sacrifice there from JaeDong. Just making sure he can get rid of a couple of those science vessels. or at least get rid of one science vessel. He really tried. I think he had about 4 Scourge in that stack, so wanted to get a couple, but only got one. Still, getting rid of one of those Irradiates is massive. The Irradiate's coming forward now. MN ready to throw him down. Sees a bunch of juicy targets. Wow. Getting 2 of these Defilers right off the bat. I bet he wishes he'd saved that 1 extra Irradiate to throw down on this other Defiler. Does he have energy? I think he does, actually, on this. Yeah, he absolutely does. Oh my god, walking straight into... wasn't even paying attention. I did not expect that. I think MN really threw the game right there. He doesn't even have range yet, but he had a pretty decent position here. He could have sieged up right there and continued to irradiate stuff, but instead he tries to walk in on 2 lurkers. Not even a single one of them died, and all the Marines and a couple of the tanks went down there. So that is a really serious error on the side of MN. It's like 3 science vessels are going to go down as well. So the snowball has started to roll here. JaeDong taking some good trades is going to put him in a better situation here now that he's fended off that first attack. Look at that immediate 4th base here from JaeDong. He's throwing down just with Dark Swarm and a few lurkers, able to hold this off and actually defeat that first attack, get a bunch of kills on some of these science vessels as well. Now, this is what I expected from MN a while ago, with 3 tanks right here, siege up and slowly push into this location, keep on irradiating over and over again. But now he's going to get plagued. He's only got 1 tank here. I don't think he can break through this location. Back at home, he's still producing tanks. He's still producing Marines as well, of course. Science vessels are on the way in a second. The starport is coming, but we've got, yes, there it is, the double hatch in the main here from JaeDong. He's going to be producing a ton of Hydras. Let's look at the upgrades. Oh, can he actually get this? This is super low. 200 HP, 100 HP. It's so close, but it looks like the hatchery going to survive with just 135. Really nice save there from JaeDong. A good attempt, though, from MN as well. Looks like only +1 is done. That +1 armor is about to finish, but +2 is 90% there for JaeDong, and that +1 attack as well. So he's gonna have a 1 upgrade advantage here shortly with which to push this. This is a little bit of an anti-timing coming in right now. The tanks are in really good position here. There is a Dark Swarm to help out these units, but oh man, he's actually gonna get on top of these tanks. That's massive. Killing off both of these tanks is really good. A 3rd tank goes down as well. A little bit slow on the retreat for MN. He loses basically all of his tanks and finds himself in a really rough position now with Dark Swarm just about inside of his natural. Where is he going to go from here? Heading out on the map with some units is a good move. You do want to get around this army, but JaeDong, his supply is becoming massive. He's got so much to work with here. He's got Defilers. He's got a ton of Hydras. Ooh, gonna lose that 1 Defiler, unfortunately. Maybe throw down a Dark Swarm here and there. Doesn't really help out anything at the moment, but didn't really have a choice with that unit. Tries to dive on the tank. Actually loses the remainder of the Hydras there. So not the best trade. Also losing a Defiler, I just heard out on the map. That Defiler walking through the middle got picked off. And JaeDong needs to deal with this attack here. Is he going to get a big plague? Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful plague. Looks like a flank of Hydras as well. Just going to wipe this army clean. Oof. Really nicely done there by JaeDong, bringing up the Hydras from the rear. His 4th gas is mining away happily. He's getting into his next couple of upgrades. That's +3 armor, +2 attack. Very rough stuff, with only 1-1 done on the Terran side and 2-2 about halfway done. This is looking very scary for MN. Every single trade is going to be worse here against these Hydras, even though Marine Medic should be able to deal with Hydras pretty darn well. They're not going to be trading as good as they could be. Now, with that extra armor upgrade completed on the side of JaeDong here. Now coming forward with some more lurkers. Does he have a Defiler as well? He does. Defiler's shoving forward. He's going to go for a massive plague on this army. He gets all of the science vessels. A great move there. And a Dark Swarm here in the front. That means this upgrade is done. Yeah, the energy upgrade here is done. This lurker cannot be displaced. Just going to sit there and hold this ground until the Dark Swarm dissipates. Very annoying stuff here. Checking out for a fourth base. Not going to find it. A full 30 supply ahead now, JaeDong is. Really hitting his macro stride now. You can see keeping his money relatively low, but probably needs to add on a couple of more hatches. Maybe a hatch in the top left, a hatch in the bottom right, just to secure that late game in case MN manages to weather the storm here. I don't think he'll be able to, though. That is so many cracklings, tons of Hydras, a bunch of Scourge here ready, and there are the Defilers as well. Once this army crosses the map, I don't know if MN can hold on. He does have some tanks out here. Done a good job of rallying those out. Keeping his Marine Medic near the tanks as well, just holding this position, but really you never want to be sitting defensively against a Zerg player with Defilers out on the map, because as soon as they get those Dark Swarms up in your natural with a lurker underneath, the game is basically over. And now taking a big fight here with some of these Lings and Hydras coming forward for the plague there. Not the greatest plague. A good split from MN. Keeps most of his stuff alive, but he's going to lose another science vessel here just to some quick work with those JaeDong Hydralists running forward and sniping that down. Let's take a look at the rally point here from JaeDong once again. So much stuff being sent forward here. The orange is just covering the map, and I think this might be it. MN has a pretty good tank count, but the macro from JaeDong is completely out of control. The Zerg Swarm is here. Look at that. Let's just get rid of this obstruction here at the bottom of the map and watch the glory of JaeDong as he pushes through into the natural here, wrecking these tanks, wrecking these Marines. Blood everywhere. GG. MN taps out and JaeDong is victorious. All right, guys, here is your score screen. Just a little bit of JaeDong for you today. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because there's plenty more content coming in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video.